Hello everyone. It's me, Jessica. So we are diving straight in. We're doing a fairy house to go with our fairy today. It's been a couple weeks since I uploaded that fairy video, and y'all know how my progression is. It takes me a little time to get my editing done. But yeah, I did use some like reference images to kind of get inspiration, but I didn't really feel like popping them in at all because realistically I didn't exactly go with like anything that was from an actual reference images. That I said that really weird. From a reference image. There we go. But I just needed to like get the vibe, you know what I mean? So I do feel like it came together. The roof is clipping on the main floor, and you can kind of see it in some of the screenshots at the very end of the video, but honestly I cannot be bothered because it's just the octagonal roof, that like one that is on the little the front bay window. So obviously the tall tower is not clipping anywhere because it is a tall tower, so it's like out of everyone's way. But yeah, I just kind of chose to ignore some weird things about this build that were kind of pissing me off. Pardon my French there, oh my gosh. But there's just like some little things here and there that there was like a piece of roofing that I was trying to get the paint to match the floor below, and it honestly, like, because of the slant on the roof, it was not working. So I don't really know. It was just driving me crazy, and I kind of like aborted that mission. But I do figure out the floor plan. Okay, please forgive me. I worked many hours today, and I am going to try and sit down and just like one-shot this. So we'll see how well that goes. I may end up trying to redo it, but I kind of one-shot most of my voiceovers, but I don't know. Y'all just bear with me. You know the process. But we're kind of getting some of the layout together here, though. I did stop messing with the bedroom, which is what ends up being on the main floor with the very tiny living area. So basically the kitchen has a single tile like counter that is an island, and so that's kind of the dining table or dining space, if you will. And then from there is a teeny tiny little, I guess you could call it a living room area, but it's all in that one tiny main room, so it's very small. But of course my ADHD always shines whenever I just do these speed builds, and they are so back and forth and back and forth. I wanted to make sure that I had the floor plan figured out, which is, in some ways actually kind of a pro tip, because if you go in to do the windows or to do these things, you may have to end up changing things or making things a little bit bigger or whatever. And I will say I did think about adding in a basement to maybe like just elaborate on having like a child's room down there or something like that. I know that sounds like kind of dark and dingy, but you could actually give them a better bedroom in a basement on this lot for the house that I built. So the upstairs is so small. Like, I made this house basically a dollhouse. So it's 2 tiles wide upstairs, and it's really just for painting. It is functional. I did test everything to make sure that the sim is able to walk around, so you can access everything, both sides of the bed, all that stuff. But it is very, very small. But in the end, I did not put a basement in at all. There is, well, I guess technically I did put a basement in. It doesn't really feel like a basement because it's exposed. In the end, I do start working on that, I think, sooner than later, because I knew I wanted something else on this lot. I just didn't quite know what. But yeah, that's where I opened that up, and we're going to put the bedroom on the right-hand side, and then just teeny tiny little living space. It is so small, but I think that sometimes it's like better to play that way. I am not always good at playing like that in my actual gameplay, whether it is for recording or for my personal. Like I think that I just end up having space for all the activities instead of like trading out the activities. You know, like you could just like focus on a skill, sell the woodworking table, you know, for example, when you max that skill, you could just like sell that and then put something else down that you want to work on. But I don't ever do that because it's like in my brain, it's too much back and forth with buy mode and like trying to figure out what. So I find that especially in a legacy, when you're a little bit later game, you're getting more money. So you just have everything. You know, maybe you don't have the skating rings and the bowling downstairs, but you have pretty much everything that your little heart desires, and that's where I'm at. So I really love building like this though, where it's just like a really small space. But this is where the whole secondary, it's a very skinny building. It's basically just like a 4x5 room or something like that. And then the bump out there's not even a bathroom over there. So the bump out ends up being the actual fireplace for that side of the house. I did not put a chimney on that little building at all. So that was maybe an oversight on my part. But yeah, I really had so much fun with this house. I think that my overall thoughts for Enchanted by Nature right now are that I really, really enjoy the super like fairy cottage core vibes that it brings. Do I think I'm gonna play with a ton of fairies? Maybe not, you know. I do really want to eventually do some occult gameplay here on YouTube, and probably something a little different but similar, you know, same but different, on stream. So yeah, I think it's kind of fun to think about doing something with the cults. So I think eventually we will. I just right now I've been getting back to just trying to get a legacy done. So I think that as we are getting closer, we're kind of, I move at a snail's progression, so I do apologize about that. You know, sometimes you have more time on your hands and other times you do not. And I am in a season of life right now where I do not have so much time on my hands, but I am always doing something. I am always trying to work on something. I am streaming twice a week. I've been really good with that schedule. So if you're ever interested in the Not So Berry Challenge over there, and I also have a Minecraft thing that we're doing over there. So it's kind of similar to the YouTube here, but it's just for stream. And the vibes are definitely different because I am a little more unfiltered and definitely just being myself over there, which is just a mom. I'm just a grown-ass woman. So, but welcome. Everyone is safe here. But yeah, so the house is really coming together. Watching that pathway, I hope that brought you guys some happiness, almost like a Zen garden, because I thought about cutting it out for the most part, and then I thought I actually feel like I put it together pretty quickly, and so especially sped up, I think that it was kind of fun to watch. So I hope you guys liked that. But yeah, we put mushrooms everywhere. I wanted this to be, oh my gosh, my cats are they're talking to each other right now. They're very always like just, a bit sassy, if you will, after dinner time. Like they get the like nighttime zoomies and they get to this point of like wanting to play with each other, but not really, because they get mad. Especially my girl Luna, who is like the older lady of the family. She gets very like just very upsetty spaghetti, that And that's her. I'm not sure if you guys can hear her, but she's not very happy with, I think it's my boy cat is trying to play with her. What is going on with you two? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna leave them to it, but yeah, so the house is definitely coming together at this point. We've got the floor plan, we've got the layout of the land, we've got the 2-story additional add-on. I did have to add some of these pillars at the very end, like the columns. I did not put them on the secondary house. Like, that's basically just all rec space. The like guest house, it's more of like a shop, if you will. But yeah, it's not a shop, but it is a shop. There is the apothecary station that I put downstairs, and I guess you could be in like the apothecary career, and you could do that here. It definitely is maybe set up for that. But in my head, it was just kind of like a nomad cottage core fairy who, I mean, she is a fairy. You don't have to be a fairy to live here, but this lot is so incredible. So I really wanted to build on this lot. I knew going into buying this pack that was like one of the biggest things I wanted to do was build on this lot. It is incredible. I think eventually we'll probably live on this lot in our, like, on YouTube. I just don't know when. I don't know when it will be, because I know it will not be anytime soon. Mantis, he kind of actually fits the vibe in a weird way, his little goth boy, but like, he's Mantis. He's a mantis. He belongs in a tree. But we're not going to live here with him, obviously. We are staying put for now in Brindleton Bay. I think if we move, it will be for Generation 5. And that's kind of where I think we might like try to shake some stuff up and like just really refresh. You know, maybe we donate like basically all of our money, or even all of it. Maybe, you know, maybe we start back over with money. Maybe we rags to riches it again from like Gen 5 or Gen 6. I don't know which one yet, so we'll just kind of feel out the vibes. But I think that I kind of have so I'm just like talking about legacy stuff on this. I'm so sorry. If you do not watch my legacy family, you probably do not care. But my life updates for like an IRL, like what have I been doing? Like I just work and I'm a mom, and I just like try to get my daughter out of the house every morning, and I'm just like huffing and puffing, and I'm out of breath, and I'm trying to get her to carry her own backpack, and she doesn't want to do that. And so, you know, I'm carrying my backpack and her backpack and my purse, and I'm trying to make sure I remember my coffee, and it's that's kind of what I do every morning. And then there's, you know, just that I work part, and then I come home and I'm a mom again. And then I wake up and I'm like, who closed this place? And I wonder, you know, if maybe Elon Musk is onto something and I should clone myself, because I think that a clone me would come in handy right now. You know, like if this were The Sims IRL, I think that would help me quite a bit, actually. Because I can't afford a maid or a nanny. I have a mom, and my mom does do so much for me, but my mom needs a clone too, you know, like she's got her own things and agendas, things and such. Oh boy, but yeah, that's life. And that's why I say that's just the season that I'm in, and that's where I'm at. Working on me and working on Sim stuff in the meantime. And I guess we could talk about Adventure Awaits, the new pack that is coming out next week. That is, it's so fast. I know we all know that. But yeah, Adventure Awaits is coming out, and I was watching some of Simsy's like gameplay today because it like kind of dropped as far as like they were able to talk about it today. It is Friday the 26th today for reference. I will probably have this uploaded to you guys tonight actually because, well, maybe not. I don't know. I might be putting music over the video as well, and if I do put a bunch of music in, then I will probably have this uploaded tomorrow because that takes quite a bit of time as well. So I do things kind of in segments, like in chunks for myself, so I don't ever really sit down and just like edit for like 4 hours in a row, and that is sometimes how long it might take. Someone like me who is not an expert, I don't know, should I be using AI? Probably, but I refuse. So, yeah. But most of the house is coming together. But back to Adventure Awaits. I'm sorry. Rambling. Got a little off track there. But I do think that it looks like it is just going to add so much to our games. And that's kind of like what Simsy was kind of showing off today, and her, like, it was like her review that she dropped. And in that review, she typically like gives some pretty good insight as far as like the aspirations, the skills, what is actually coming with the pack. So it's not so much just like a let's build with the pack or anything like that. And I think that it's like pretty helpful and insightful. So I think from like getting to see a little bit of that, I watched a couple of other people talk about just some of the like build and cast items, and I do think that like everything from the Sims team is looking so clean and like so much better these days. So I'm always really happy to see like new stuff coming, even new activewear or some stuff that like I know we all could maybe argue that it's been a little repeated from like Outdoor Retreat or things like that, even honestly like Snowy Escape, but this is definitely going to be more like summer focused, and I'm hoping that there's going to be enough new stuff in here that having like new yoga pants, I was seeing some of the colors, and I think that the yoga pants are kind of cute. I'm excited to get my hands on it eventually. I don't know when I'm going to grab the pack. I never do because I don't typically grab it immediately upon it being released. So I'm not sure that I will, but I do definitely have my sights on it because I think that it is looking pretty impressive on the aspects of like what it adds to the game. There's so many things for kids to do, and so many new like pieces of playground equipment as well, which is really fun. We've had the same playground equipment for so long that it kind of like feels like it's been such an oversight for so long that they're giving us kayaks, which are not necessarily children focused, but those are really fun to have as well. And just so many things like that. I'm really excited to see it come to life. The water woohoo is definitely a fun one to see added into the game. I think that there's probably been like a kind of a need for that since Island Living. Like when we got Island Living, that definitely feels like it would have been an opportune time to add that in, especially like for mermaids. Like, come to think of it, when we get the full release, the final full release date, I'm curious if mermaids can woohoo in the water, because I mean, it almost like fairies being able to woohoo in the sky, it feels very appropriate that mermaids would have that ability anyways, but I don't believe that they did to begin with, so kind of a interesting little thing there. But yeah, I think aside from the new pack coming out, I am definitely just in hibernation mode. It is still actually like hot here in Oklahoma, which is just kind of repulsive. I'm really offended with Oklahoma's weather right now because it is not even chilly. like not even chilly. Sometimes when I leave the house in the morning, there's like almost a crispness in the air, but it's not really like chilly yet. And I guess I shouldn't be complaining. It's one of those things that like the second you notice that it hasn't quite gone to the extreme, which it shouldn't that fast, right? But it's gonna change. I just gotta bear with it. I think, I know I'm not alone in wanting the temperatures to drop off a little bit more, but it's okay. It's just been so hot in Oklahoma. Like, it was still in the 90s this past week, and that is just ridiculous. Like, please. But yeah, this little second floor octagon in the tower is really just like some shelves on the wall with some decorative stuff. I put some of the clutter items that came with the pack, some of the plants, and then it really is just for the stairwell as far as the ladders coming up and down. So the space above it is functional. I turn it into I think it's just a little chess room, but you could make it whatever you wanted to. But yeah, this is where the little paint area is coming together. Sorry, my cat has come up on my lap and she is demanding to be pet at this point. So I'm kind of trying to give in to her on that. But I think overall, I'm so happy with how this came out. Adding some more clutter on this mantle. We put this fireplace in the shop. It's in the top floor, or I guess it's technically the ground floor. But I put like a desk in there and I put the fireplace in there. It's very cozy. You could be a writer, or maybe they actually just really enjoy gaming or something like that. You don't have to be off the grid entirely because you're off the grid. Like I'm maybe that's just wishful thinking on my own part, because I would love to be a little nomad fairy myself, but I am such a technological person in some ways. Obviously, I really enjoy gaming and such. So I would really hope to think that like I could make things like that still work for myself if I ever did actually find myself in a position where like I could live off in the sticks with the fairies and try to become one. Just show them that I'm serious. I moved here. I'm with it. Would you guys like to accept me now? But you know, who knows? But yeah, I think that the house definitely came together the way I wanted it to. It's very tiny, like I was saying. Like, look how tiny this space is. She's so cute, you know. She's just so cute. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even have thoughts for it. I think that honestly, I think it came out perfect for what I was kind of hoping it would come out to. I didn't mesh the occult at all. Like, I didn't put anything for witches in here. I really wanted to keep it like fairy focused. But there's so much color. Like, it is such a lively house, and I think that in the end, I'm really happy with how the colors like blended together in this pack. I found it pretty easy to like mix and match the greens and just like let everything kind of exist in like almost like kind of a mix match sort of way on purpose. But that's honestly, I don't know. Sometimes that's like not the vibe. And then other times it feels like it can be, you know, it can be done. And I think this was definitely one of those times where I was not so worried about the matchy match. Like some of the windows, actually, this window, I think on the back of the house is a different color than like the butterfly window that is on the front of the house. And that is really just because I wanted to have that butterfly window accented. And it is a darker swatch. Like it's kind of black actually. And I was like, overall, I was trying to use brown and not black, but I just left it, you know. I wanted the butterfly more than I cared about the woods matching. So All right, good morning. I am back to it. I did take an IRL break because last night I was way too tired. I just genuinely, I had such a long week and I could feel the steam in me just leaving my body. So I am refreshed, anew. I got some sleep. I have coffee made, a little pumpkin spice coffee actually, because I just got the grounds that are supposed to be pumpkin spice. I don't know how that works. I'm not sure that I want to know. But it's pretty good. It is pretty good. It gives it's not super pumpkin-y at all. It's honestly just kind of spicy, and I do like it actually. It's kind of funny though, because I know pumpkin spice has become such a controversial thing, and I kind of feel like I've never been a super big pumpkin spice person to begin with, so I'm kind of coming to the train a little late, and it's so it's a very big swing topic. But yeah, I don't know, thoughts below on that one, I guess. What else are we doing? Finally, the kitchen is coming together. I was kind of noticing that I was working on some of the cluttering, and I felt like in the end, I really wanted to clutter the kitchen a lot more than I actually did. But for functionality purposes, I really want this house to be functional because I love playing like this, even if it's just with one sim. I do have my kind of immortal super sim, not my sim self, because I have basically 3 families I kind of rotate playing with in my personal spare time. So the immortal, she's not actually immortal, but she lives in a house kind of similar to this. I've been working on it because I've just been really inspired with the fairy pack. It's right up my alley in collaboration with just that cottage living, and I don't know, I feel like paranormal activity pack kind of goes good with that too. But just the very boho fairy cottage core is right up my personal alley. I really like it. So I've been having a lot of fun with this. I've been feeling like I needed to redecorate my personal save files, because this does not exactly go with Not So Berry. Maybe one of the generations, but not Red Gen. I've been playing Red Gen, and we've been living in the city. It's kind of the best way to play that generation because you're supposed to do a lot of stuff in the city. But I also just think it's fun to live in the city sometimes. I do very much actually like San Myshuno. It's one of my favorite worlds, probably. Windenburg has a very special place in my heart, but I feel like Innisgrain here and possibly the New World, I haven't seen it yet, other than just some gameplay from people. But the New World, I actually can't remember. It's what, Gibby Point, I think. It looks really beautiful, especially I was watching, I was saying, I was watching Simsy's review of it, and she showed off the jellyfish area where it lights up on the walls, if I'm thinking of the right thing, because there's also a bioluminescent lake, and I think that they are technically different things. Sorry, I'm moving my microphone, so I'm sorry if that made any extra noise. I try to be really careful with it. But yeah, it is just a good old Saturday morning over here. I am about to start folding some laundry. Laundry is everyone's nemesis, but it's definitely my nemesis as well, among so many things in my life. Or is it me? I don't know. But we've got all the little details in this house just make me so happy. And that's what I can't remember where that little diamond terrarium is from. Kind of forgot that word, terrarium, for a second. The computer is my favorite part. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, ADHD. While we're putting the computer down, this is my most favorite part. I love it so much. I use this, it's a base game computer. It's just, it looks very, very old. I think it's locked typically under gameplay, unlockables. So I put it down and it just felt very much like the vibe. Aside from the cottage living one is kind of my actual favorite go-to when it comes to the old school computers because it looks like a typewriter. But this one being in base game, I felt like it would actually place down if if you don't have, extra packs. So I really tried to use Cottage Living, Enchanted by Nature, and just base game, obviously. But so the kitchen has Enchanted by Nature and then Cottage Living appliances, because I love those appliances, especially just that fridge in here. Oh, so cute. But I do think that couch is from high school years. It's just such a good couch. I use it so much. It is a staple in my brain when I think about this kind of a space. I just go to that couch every single time. But we are getting pretty close. We've got the little meditation station, if you will, behind the computer area. I didn't really know what to put there because I already had, a painting area. We already have chests up at the top of the tower. You could put woodworking in somewhere because I actually did not include that anywhere. I guess, maybe in hindsight, this is more of a woodworking table area. I don't know. I'm a yoga girly, and I've always, that's my dream, right? You gotta have your dream yoga spot. So having this workshop that's really just this cozy plant room of gaming and yoga, this is my dream office, basically. So that's what we're doing. We didn't know it, but we're dreaming about my dream house. We're building it. But yeah, all the little final details are coming together. I think we're just a couple minutes out from you guys going on over to the slideshow, and I do have kind of just a vibey little moment with some of the environmental things that are in this area. So I love it so much. I love this lot. I cannot express that enough to you guys. I know that the fairy pack all around was kind of a flop. In some ways, people are a little disappointed with how I'm not really sure, actually. I personally haven't played with fairies yet, so I can't actually speak on that. But the build and buy and the world alone are enough of a reason for me to buy this pack. Even if I don't play with fairies very often. It's like if Cottage Living had come with fairies, like we were kind of hoping, I would still love Cottage Living to its core. And I think that these two together pair really well for just that cottagecore vibe. So yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So if you don't have outdoor retreat, don't get it, because you don't need the, what is it? I can't even think of the skill that comes in that. I know I watched Simpsy's video of her maxing out that skill. Apparently I still can't talk. I'm trying to talk fast because the end is coming. But yeah, I think that Cottage Living and Enchanted by Nature are such an OP pair together, and I don't think anyone's going to change my mind on that. So, but yeah, soon I have another legacy video coming for you guys. I'm going to be recording another Minecraft video tonight, and then I think I want to make another fairy, possibly, but also we hit 200 subscribers not too long ago, and I really want to build a house that maybe is in the shape of a 200 or something like that. I've been really trying to think about something I could do to celebrate with you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping though, because it is just about time for the presentation of the slideshow. There we go, that's the word. So love you guys. I will catch you in another video. Bye.